Hello, and thank you for joining us on CM Live, and I'm Colion Noir. So, concealed carry is a very important issue on our show, and our first guest is the managing editor for American Rifleman, Joe Kurtenbach. He's been trying to determine the best gun for concealed carry, and he joins us now. What's going on, man?
What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, trying to determine the best gun for concealed carry along with every other single person in the world, I think.
Yeah, it's a never-ending journey, man. I know for me, I'm constantly changing. I mean, I have my go-tos,
Right.
but I am constantly experimenting with different setups. I mean, if you let me, I'll have a concealed gun for every 30 minutes of my life.
Yeah. Yeah, and you got to be careful about saying stuff like that because, if it's your concealed carry gun, you should only have one because if you don't train with it exclusively, you're probably going to die.
Gosh, you're so morbid today, Jim. What's going on, man? So
kind of a different take at SHOT Show this year. You can kind of look at manufacturers, what's out there. You can read and watch videos till you're blue in the face. But this year I decided, let me do something a little different. Let me survey holster makers and see what they have to say.
When I heard you were doing that, I was like, that's actually pretty interesting. I wouldn't have thought to do that because if there's going to be a group of people who see the guns coming in and out or the guns that people are actually buying, it's going to be the people making holsters for them.
Yeah, you almost don't want to ask somebody who makes guns because you're always going to get that kind of tilted answer, that biased answer. But you ask somebody who's just selling holsters, I mean, they win no matter what people are carrying.
Yeah.
So they'll tell you what the top three are basically, or however many, are really moving for them.
Okay, so let's start at the top of this list and work our way down. I'm pretty sure this will get real interesting.
Okay. All right, let's do it. So you want the number one or you want the number three?
Let's go number three.
Okay, yeah. We'll build the excitement here.
Right.
Yeah, so number three was the Springfield XDS. And this, of all of them, was kind of the surprise for me. Not because it's not a good gun, but I feel like there's a lot of people loudly opposed to Springfields, like Glock fanboys or SIG fanboys. And for whatever reason, there's like, it's cool, it's hip to like make fun of Springfields on the internet. But the facts don't lie. They're moving like crazy. I mean, XDs are everywhere. And I think that XDS, I think a big part of it is Springfield was the first one in the new iteration, in the renaissance of single-stack, subcompact semi-automatic pistols to put out a 45. So that gave them a huge advantage, a big lead in that market.
I remember when that happened. I remember thinking to myself, that was back in my, 45 is where 45s were kind of like, if I can carry it, I'll carry a 45.
Right.
Now I don't care. But I was really blown away by what they did. Honestly, when I saw the gun, I was like, that thing has got to have all kind of problems because it was such a small package, especially for 45. And I hadn't seen that up until that point. And so for me, I didn't. The interesting thing is I was still I always get it mixed up. Did the Shield come out before the XDS or right after?
No, right before. So the Shield.
Okay, that's what I thought.
The Shield is kind of the one that reinvigorated that market.
Gotcha.
Like, hey, let's make small polymer frame pistols. But it came out in 9 and 40 initially. So Springfield beat everybody to the punch with the 45. And at the time, I was surprised because to me, I was like, well, I can have more bullets if it's a 9.
Yeah.
So now they're offering me this thing, but also, super brilliant. No one else was offering a pistol that small in 45 in the modern iteration. I feel like I have to caveat any conversation about these, because there were guns before that were small and chambered for 9, 40, and 45.
Well, do you remember what the gold standard was for a small compact 45?
What, like the
Glock 36?
The Glock 36, yeah. Yeah, well, and if you kick back even further, there were now, of course, I'm blanking on the name, but one of my coworkers always talks about I had a small 45 back then, it's the gold standard, but they
what
really
was it, a 5-inch 1911?
Market. What's that?
What was it, a 5-inch 1911?
No, it was not one of those. Surprisingly, here at NRA headquarters, people don't all carry 5-inch 1911s.
No, but you're right. I think with Springfield, if you just go surely based off some of the stuff you hear on the internet, you'd swear no one carried a Springfield. In reality, in life, there are tons of people who carry Springfield, and like they are like maniacs about it. Like they won't touch any other gun.
Right. It's the same kind of following that you get with any of the other major brands. Maybe they're a little bit quieter, or maybe there's just more haters. I don't know. But I've been pretty much an equal opportunity gun guy.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of merits to that XD platform. And there is no denying that when we had this new wave of single stack subcompacts, Springfield was the first to put out a 45.
Do you think it has something to do with the excessive, and I don't say excessive as a pejorative, but the excessive safety features on the Springfields? Because on the internet, it's cool not to have a safety on your gun. If you have safety on your gun, you're not part of the cool kids club. But I think sometimes maybe some of the like more entrenched gun guys think it's a little goofy to have the grip safety, the physical safety on the slide, all of those things. Do you think that might be a part of it?
Yeah, I mean, I do wonder about that a little bit, because like at what point was it not cool to have a proper shooting grip? Because that's like all that's required
pretty much, yeah.
to deactivate the safety on the Springfield. And I'm not saying that like I totally get the idea that not having a thumb safety is good, and I think most of the XDs don't have thumb safety.
They don't. Yeah, I misstated that when I said they did.
It's really just that grip safety, and then the trigger, which also the Glock, the M&P have. So I don't know at what point people were so offended or so worried about not getting a proper shooting grip, not being able to grab the gun. I mean, I guess there's limp wristing, maybe there's limp gripping. I don't know, but I've never had a problem with it. But I also get, some guys want the least mechanical issues, that they can possibly have, or want to limit it.
And I can't blame them for that. I mean, I'm the same way. But so let's do the next let's do the next two guns that were on that list. Yeah.
So the next number 2, no surprise, Glock 19. And it was specifically Glock 19 9mm. Yeah. Nothing else really to be said about it. I mean, it speaks for itself. And number 1, I guess it wasn't a surprise to me, but maybe I thought the Glock would be number 1. But the Smith & Wesson Shield is the number 1, and that has to be either the 9 or the 40, because the 45 just came out and it has a slightly different dimensions, so it won't fit in the same holster. So it's the 9 or the 40. My money says it's probably mostly 9s.
I want to say that too, but the weird thing is the very few people I have come across that carry shields, they're oddly enough in 40. I think the concept and idea of carrying a shield in 40 is kind of silly to me personally. I'm going to get a lot of crap for that, but I don't care. I love it in 9. In 9, the gun is excellent. It's phenomenal. And 40, I don't know. I just see like it's diminishing returns.
Yeah, I think, for me, there are 40 guys out there, and I think I understand why. But for me, shooting a 40 it's just self-abuse. I mean, it is just I don't have fun doing it. It's too snappy for me, and I mean, bring on the critics. Oh, you're too weak to handle it, or something like that. It's like it's not that. It's just the impulse is different than other calibers, and I personally don't like shooting them as much. So the 9s for me.
Yeah, I think there's a false attribution that tends to happen when you start talking about calibers, in the sense of some people misconstrue that snappiness for it to be more powerful, more lethal in that sense. So it kind of speaks to this inner idea of, well, shit, it feels more powerful, so it must be more powerful. It almost kind of like a what's the word I'm looking for? A placebo effect.
Yeah.
Or whereas with the 9, it can be comparatively rather muted, and so it comes off as like, oh, this gun's probably not going to be the best man stopper out there. And then when you have, and then the placebo effect you have with the 45 is just the sheer size of the bullet, and then with the 40, it's just the recoil sensation.
Yeah, I've shot extensively and even hunted with Smith & Wesson 500 and 460 Magnums. I mean, those will abuse you. I'm not saying I would want to carry those, but it's not a matter of not being able to handle the recoil. It's just in a semi-automatic pistol that I'm thinking I might need to shoot rapidly to save my life.
Yeah.
I'd rather, I shoot nines better.
Yeah.
I think the way the recoil, the impulse is, it's just easier for me to get back on target and keep shooting. And that's what I look for when I'm looking at a carry gun for a chambering.
Yeah. I mean, there are already enough things that make shooting accurately difficult. The last thing I need is the gun, the caliber itself to be part of that problem. So right. I mean, that's fine for me. I'm a 9 guy all the way, but I'm pretty sure we'll get a lot of hate mail, but I'm going to give him your address so it'll all come to you anyway.
Yeah, that's fine. And this was completely unscientific. And I can't prove any of these except to say that I spent all of SHOT Show every time I passed a holster maker, asking them, what are the top 3 holster models you're selling? And they all answered the same way, which was Shield number 1, Glock 19 number 2, and Springfield XDS.
Awesome. Well, I'm slightly surprised, especially when it comes to the Glock 19 not being first, but nonetheless, some of the other guns on there, they make perfect sense to me. They're damn good guns. So
yeah, all solid choices for sure.
Yes, sir. Well, unfortunately, we've run out of time. I'm the killer of all fun, but yeah. Actually, that's my producer. But no, man. Please join us again, man. Let me know when you come back on the show. Let me hear about some of the other new stuff that you've been shooting, because I know you get to have all the fun, and I just sit here behind the microphone and talk about the fun.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Anytime you want.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot.
All right.
Coming up next, we'll have an update on that ammo lead ban.